Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with my 28-week pregnancy update. If it's your first time visiting my channel, my husband and I are expecting our first baby girl on September the 23rd. And I have been documenting this pregnancy journey on YouTube. If you want to follow along, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and make sure that you have the bell notification turned on so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. All right, so let's start with the symptoms and notes as usual. So some kind of overarching themes for the week. Honestly, when I look back on my Ovia app, I see that basically I felt motivated about 2 days of the last week, and otherwise I was pretty lazy / relaxed. Could be the summer vibes, I'm not sure. But anyway, I have been feeling lazy also today. I've got to do a little bit of cleaning and I'm just like not feeling it. Anyway. So, of course, being hungry all the time is a norm. Some days more hungry than others. Yesterday I was like hit by a ravenous attack of like hunger. Like I was like, I'm starving just suddenly at like 7:30, and we started to make dinner late, like about 7:30, because my husband was making some ragu. I live in Italy and my husband is Italian, so he makes some meat ragu every couple weeks when I ask him to for our pasta, and he made that after dinner. And so I kind of had left him in the kitchen, and at 7:30 I like ate 3/4 of a bag of like, well, I thought they were crackers actually, but it turned out they were more like baked chips. But they were really good, paprika flavor. And then it still wasn't enough though. And I was a bit concerned that I was going to have issues with stomach acidity later, because I felt like all over the whole torso and in the back, like there's cramps of like hunger. And I ended up having to grab like a slice of bread and put peanut butter and jam on it and eat it, because we were still a fair ways off from having dinner ready. I hadn't even really begun yet, and it was just, I wasn't gonna last. And so then later on in the evening when the ragu was ready, I was feeling snackish again. And I had like a little open-faced piece of bread with some ragu on it. It was particularly good, actually. My husband had said, come try some. It turned out really good for like some reason, you know, sometimes things come out like particularly good. So that was yesterday was a very hungry day. I've had several days of still waking up with a backache, but it goes away like really quickly once I get up. Earlier on in my pregnancy, I was having to do like a shower or yoga to get rid of it, but now it seems to be like shortly after I wake up, it's basically gone, so that's good. Still having a lot of disrupted sleep. I don't think that's going anywhere though. In fact, it's probably just gonna get worse. And I guess one note that I put for 28 weeks and 1 day on last Thursday was that I felt dizzy in the evening. I don't know why. I'm not sure. But for whatever reason, after dinner, I was kind of struck with this like slight dizziness, and it was only that day. I don't know what to say about that. And it hasn't happened since either. Then for Saturday, which was 28 weeks and 3 days, I was like, I had shortness of breath that day. That I find generally happens like, you know, when I'm going to take out the garbage or things. But that day, I was just kind of feeling it, and I don't know if it was related to the fact that like I was feeling very sad that day because I had gotten the news that a family member had passed away. so I wasn't really feeling that great that day. And then on Tuesday, so yesterday, 28 weeks and 6 days, I started to get a headache in the evening, probably due to my contacts being dry. I'm wearing contacts, and I do tend to have problems with dry eyes. I am taking for my prenatals, like the ones that have also the omega-3 kind of extra pill to take, which, because it's good for the baby, but also it helps me with my eyes, just to kind of lubricate them a bit more. I don't know, I had an eye doctor tell me that like years ago, and she had told me to take like 1,000 milligrams, which shows you how dry my eyes were. I'm not doing that right now. I'm just taking the one that comes with the like prenatal DHA edition. But yeah, I had that. I was feeling a bit gassy, and then strangely in the late afternoon I had cramps. And it's weird because, kind of just a side note, today at 29 weeks officially, I kind of had a moment where I had cramps again today too. Don't know why. Like, but it's not contractions. Like, it's like, it feels like cramps. I mean, unless they are contractions, I have no idea what I'm actually feeling. I really don't know. But kind of other things that have happened, I pretty much am still feeling, mostly on a daily basis, that burning pain in the groin area that's like tender. The round ligament pain that I've kind of pretty much determined that it is. So when I was doing my yoga this morning, I was kind of just a bit more attentive to some of the times that they said, you know, if you have pelvic pain, maybe like don't do this particular movement. So I would just modify it, because I had never really paid attention to that before. And now I'm like, oh, okay, yes, I should probably watch that. And I tried like the new section on like the hips to see if it could help actually, and it felt good to do that one, and as well as like the 20-minute segment. And then in the last week in particular, I think I had mentioned this also in the last update, that I was having trouble getting up from like the lounge chair, but basically all week I've been having trouble getting up from a sitting position. So it's kind of funny. Anyway, and my husband kind of teases me like, oh, come on. I'm like, well, by now it's like, you know, gonna be the moment. Like, I've got this like weight right over my like belly, right? And he's like, no, it's true. So, and let's see, for a fun note about the baby, I guess kind of I wouldn't really say it's milestone, but something exciting that's newer is that her movements have gotten significantly stronger, and she's gotten significantly more active in the last week. Pretty much every day on my app I wrote high movement and kicking a lot, so that's really exciting. And apparently she's going to kind of stable out pretty soon. Like, her movements are soon not going to be too much more than they are now, because she's running out of room too. And basically what I've started to notice is I can feel, this is like cool, like her arm kind of, and maybe sometimes her hand, but like definitely like the arm that kind of like up here, because of course she's head up right now, and she really likes my right side. I like never feel her on the left side, and which actually I wonder if that's the case, where maybe she's, I don't know how it works. If I'm always feeling her move on the right side, is she actually on the left side, and then like the limbs are on the right side? I'm not sure, but it's cool. I can kind of determine, and I read somewhere, probably on my app too, that like the stronger movements are like legs and feet, and the like lighter movements are the like hands and arms. And so it's kind of cool to figure that out. And then, so I hopefully will be able to notice if she happens to turn. But yeah, it's just cool because, I can see all the time my like belly that's moving around as she's more active, and like you see the movements getting bigger. So I've been enjoying that. But my husband, like 95% of the time when I tell him, hey, Ivano, come over, she's awake and moving quite a lot, like 95% of the time she stops and he can't feel anything. And so he was getting really disheartened. Luckily, one day, a couple days ago, he did actually feel her like make a pretty good like movement. Like it wasn't even really like a kick per se. It was like, I don't know, she had like a bunch of limbs moving all at once kind of thing. Anyway, the last note for today's update is actually yesterday I began my prenatal course. So that is, I guess, the new milestone of the week. So it's online, obviously, because of COVID. So there was like 21 people, and it was good, I have to say. Honestly, it was like informative, and they basically said, your husbands can totally like join in if they want. In the end, like it's an online course. So basically, the timing of the course, though, is like 2:30 to 3:30 in the afternoon. So, I mean, like, it's not like he's going to take, not just my husband, but like I would think most people's are going to take off like an hour and a half every week or twice a week to come to the course. Just because it's in the middle of the afternoon, right? But I kind of gave him like a look. I said, like, okay, like here are the programmed classes. Like, is there anything that you'd want to come to? And he's like, well, the last one, coming back home. And then he's like, maybe also the one on like, I don't know, next Thursday or something, like that's on labor. And so I gave him like the screenshot, and they said, okay, like here are the dates for booking them off, basically. And I guess each time they like rotate, the nurses that are on. And so you are supposed to basically meet like most of the staff that you'll be dealing with. And it was good. They had 2 nurses on, and they seemed very nice, and they were quite young, and it was good. Really, it was supposed to be like an hour, but it was like close to an hour and a half because, people have questions, right? So it was neat. I was just writing down stuff, and sometimes like they were saying all the different things that we have to like book coming up, but I'm sure that the doctors tell you that too. But like I was trying to like write it down, but I think it's in like the notebook that not notebook, but we have like a folder that's like a pregnancy file that we bring to every appointment. And I mean, all that stuff I've seen is written on there too, to like when to book the like, I think it's the B strep or strep B or something, swab and stuff like that, and when to book and do the COVID test, and what are the rules now, like with COVID, because they kind of said for now, with how things are standing with the virus, and things could change, but no visitors are allowed in the hospital, and like your husband can come in for like the whole labor, and I think 2 hour and birth, and I think 2 hours after, I believe, and then every day for the whole time that you're there, like 2 hours a day they can come. But they said basically like, and if for some reason he's not able to come, then you can ask and have someone else to come. But they're like, preferably we would prefer to have you keep the same person coming every day, just to avoid the amount of people coming into the hospital of different people. And so they said, like, things can change in the next couple of weeks based on if the situation with the virus gets better or gets worse. So as it stands now, there you go. And they say, like, if the mother, like, results to be positive to the virus, and they send us the mother to, like, the main hospital, the main city hospital, and she's taken care of there, and the father doesn't basically see her or the baby, like, until the cure is done, basically, I guess. And yeah, so anyway, gotta just hope you don't catch it. So yeah, basically, and I'm just going over stuff, and I guess they've got some specialists later on that we would do a meeting with. The one thing I am curious is if in the past I've had friends that say, like, they give you a tour of the hospital, but I wonder if they'll do that now because of the whole virus situation. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, hopefully things continue to get better, not worse. And there we go. It's already something that, honestly, like, even if they keep the 2-hour thing for September, let's say, like, it's still better than some of my friends have had that gave birth recently, like a couple months ago, where the husband was, like, not allowed into the hospital, like, at all, until they came out. Like, they were there for the birth, basically. Like, one of them was there for, like, 15 minutes, the other one was allowed for, like, 2 hours, and, like, that was it till they came home. So anyway, we'll see. This morning I tried to phone, even though this is part of, like, 29 weeks, but, like, it's not like a specifically 29-week thing, just because I turned 29 weeks today. But I had given a call to the clinic that I had mentioned in the last update, because I totally forgot to call yesterday morning, because I was supposed to call in the morning and I was out doing groceries. And basically I had tried to call the clinic that my friend had recommended going, just to see if I could get, like, a better experience, right, which I mentioned in the last update. Well, as it turns out, they have no space for me because of, well, essentially because of the virus, actually. That I guess they had canceled a lot of appointments in the past, and now they're basically backed up. And so they said, if it was at the beginning of your pregnancy, then we would be able to take you, but seeing as, like, the closest date that we can actually give you is at the end of August, early September, like, it's not gonna work. We don't have a spot, unfortunately. So I guess that's it for this pregnancy then. I guess I'll continue doing what I have been. And knowing that, I said, okay, well, I guess I'll just go there for the next pregnancy immediately. My husband had suggested just going in private the next few, but I don't know. I'm like, I don't really feel like paying, like, 80 euros every time I have to go to the doctor. So I think that I'll just continue. Like, I don't even have that many appointments left in theory, because they have, like, the 32-week ultrasound, and then they see you shortly after that, and then, early August, and then they see you at, like, 36 weeks, and then if you go into labor between 36 and 40 weeks, like, okay, they don't see you again. But if you reach, like, 40 weeks, then they see you every 2 days, and then they start talking about, like, inducing you and stuff. So, I mean, really, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna bother at this point. Like, I'm not even working anymore because of the virus. I haven't been since, like, the end of February, as I'm an English teacher, and all of the contracts basically fell apart. So I will just leave it, I think. It's too bad, but, no one tells you those things, and they're things that you just figure out. So also, my friend that had recommended that to me, she had gone private the first time and was unhappy with private because the doctor really never visited her after or anything. And so she went to the clinic this time. I'll try the clinic next time. What are you going to do? Anyway, I wish I had known it sooner, but oh well. So now let's do the bump shot, 28 weeks. Okay, here we go. You can see my belly button now poking through the shirt. This shirt is not maternity, and it's not even actually a stretchy shirt. I'm actually quite surprised that it still fits. But here we go. As you can see, I was mentioning that linea nigra is starting to be more prominent now. All right, that's it for this week. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. And I will see you in my next update. Bye!